We're back here on Extra Rounds. Please be joined now by San Diego Padres pitcher Joe Musgrove, who looks like he's in, right field?
I'm in right field. Yes, sir.
Very
Just
nice.
finished up, just finished up my running. Good time to sit down and chat.
There you go. Victorious last night on the bump, right? Picking up the fourth win of the year?
Yes, sir. Yes. I mean, not my sharpest. Gave up 3 runs, but managed to get 6 innings in, and offense put up enough runs to squeak out a W there.
I mean, a win is a win. You can't ever be
I'm
upset with a
taking it
win.
any way it comes, man. These things are hard to come by up here.
Absolutely, especially in front of your hometown crowd. Not many players get to play in front of the city that they grew up in. You've been there three years now in San Diego?
This is going on my 3rd year, and it's funny. I was just talking. I went and got a couple beers with my agent last night after the game, and we were just kind of reminiscing back on where we came from and how we got here, and just how it feels full circle from playing travel ball growing up in San Diego and going out and doing what I love every day, and then getting to go home and have a home cooked meal by mom and sleep in my own bed. It feels like I'm kind of back in that flow. I feel like my mind and everything is just really at peace playing here. Obviously, there's a lot of stress that comes with it, and that fear of failure has kind of been the biggest motivator for me. Not wanting to fail in front of my hometown. I assume it's the same as when these fighters go, across the country to go fight back in their hometown. It's like that fear of failing in front of your people kind of takes you to different levels. So
Yeah, you talk about fighting in front of your hometown crowd. Like I think athletes talk about that being something that they sort of don't like, in the sense that they want to have like once you make it to the big stage, you want to like have the same experience time in, time out. So you go to the fighter hotel, things like that.
right.
For yourself, like you've got. I mean, how many starts do you have? Probably 15 at home each year.
This year altogether.
Yeah, altogether, like generally in a season. Like how many games do you think you?
Oh yeah. I mean, you make probably about half your starts. So yeah, anywhere from like 14 to 16 a year at home.
Yeah, so like I mean that's a lot different than having a one-off fight in your backyard. Like what do
Right.
you
Yeah.
what's your routine to like sort of make it feel not like a normal day at home, and more like a start, like if you were on the road. Is there any sort of
Yeah.
uniformity?
I mean, me and my girlfriend have an agreement out. She goes and sleeps at her house on the night before start and kind of gives me my space to. And it's not that she bothers me or I don't want to be around her, but you got to kind of take yourself to a certain place. And again, I relate it like I feel like my approach is very comparative to how these fighters approach it. Obviously, not nearly the same amount of risk and whatnot, but just the mentality of like taking yourself to a certain place mentally to be able to go out and compete. And I'm a completely different person on the mound than I am in person, man. I'm a very easygoing, loving guy, but on the mound, I'm a dog. I just turn into a different person, and I feel like you have to at this level. So, I do get my little bit of space to kind of mentally get right, but you can come back home and, concern yourself with all these worries of, oh, I'm going to be at home. I don't want to get too comfortable. I don't want to have this and that throwing me off or, having me let my guard down. But all the things about being at home and playing in your hometown and having access to my PTs and my strength coach that I train with all off season, my pitching coach that I work with constantly, having all those things is a huge advantage. And, if you have the mental fortitude to keep your eyes focused on the task at hand and keep your mind in the right spot, then I think you need to be tapping into all those things that make you as good as you are and give you that sense of comfort. Obviously you shouldn't let it affect your effort and your commitment and your, dedication to what you're doing. But, tapping into some of those things kind of gives you that peace of mind to be able to put all your focus into the task at hand.
Yeah, I think the baseball season's got to be the most grinding and grueling of all the mainstream sports. When you think about 162 games, the road trips. I mean, you guys are playing like literally every team now. It's not just
Yeah.
consolidated into your division, or you're on the road a lot more. It feels like. How much is staying healthy based on getting the proper training in?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, dude. That's the name of the game is, you can be as good a pitcher as you want. And a lot of people, this is not meant to be a knock on DeGrom, but, one of the best pitchers in the game, but his issue is just staying healthy and on the field. And you're only as good as, what you're able to provide to the team. So being healthy as a starting pitcher is one of the hardest things to do. Like you said, you're making 30 plus starts a year, 32 starts. You're traveling cross country every couple days, and you're in different time zones, which is probably the most difficult part of it. Is you
Right.
fly across the country to Toronto, to play 3 games, and by the end of that 3-game series, you're finally adjusted to the time change, and you fly right back to the West Coast, and now you got to switch to that. So you're just constantly bouncing around. They do a really good job of giving us as much things as they can to make us feel, at home and prepared, as far as like visiting weight rooms and clubhouses and, the amenities that they make available. But the travel's difficult, man. And, you perform all day and you're going 100% on the field and draining your body. And then you get on a flight and sit in that elevation pressurized cabin. It's just, things just don't recover at the same rate as they would if you're kind of stationary in one spot. And especially for those guys playing in Colorado that are playing in elevation, that's a huge disadvantage for them. But yeah, they do a really good job of keeping us healthy. And, throughout the course of the season, it's, doing the minor things that don't seem very important, but, do a lot for you in senses of recovery. So for starting pitchers, those first couple days after start is big, heavy workloads, soft tissue massage, a lot of recovery, modalities and stuff, but everything you can to get yourself back in shape to even get on the mound in 5 days.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're pretty particular. You like things a certain way, even to the point where it sounds like you're opening up like your own training facility. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh no. Still got you. Sorry.
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, I am actually. We're opening it up. I think July 6th is going to be our grand opening. Me and my partner Jono have been training together for the last 9-10 years. And I've just fell in love with his training. He was my very first personal trainer. I used to just go down to LA Fitness, a 24-hour, and just do whatever kind of workouts I saw guys in the gym doing. And then the first year I got with him, we did a lot of sports related workouts, sports specific to baseball, a lot of functional movement stuff, a lot of mobility exercises, things that I just hadn't really tapped into much. And I saw my career just take off that following season. So I came back with him next season even better and just kind of continued to progress. And not only physically, but mentally, he was just, opened me up to all these different avenues. And, we talked about back then in those first 2 years, we were training in a really small facility, about 2,000 square feet. And, we just talked about how good his training is and how big our vision is and just how we're limited in that by the size of the building that we're in. And, how nice it would be to eventually be able to buy our own facility and, set it up the way that we want with the proper space and the proper size. And, we're finally at that point, or I'm at that point financially where I'm able to, put some funds down and secure a building. So we got a building back in January. And over the last couple months, my partner Jono has been incredible in saving us money by, doing a lot of the demo and stuff himself. Pretty handy with that stuff. So we did a lot of the electrical and drywall stuff, just kind of saved a few bucks where we could. And this is going to be a full service facility. It's going to have 6,000 square foot training floor. We'll have a hot and cold tub room with like a wet room for recovery purposes. We'll have a recovery room with Normatec leggings and all the modalities that you use for recovery. We have 3 PTs in office, a massage therapist, acupuncturist. And the idea is that kind of it's a place, we'll have mounds in there to throw. So it's kind of a one-stop shop to show the youth athletes of San Diego, the things that it takes on a daily basis to be a professional, and, how important some of these things are, and make it easy for people where the parents can drop their kid off for 3 hours and they can come get their physical therapy. They can get a workout in, they can do their throwing, and they can get some recovery work and send them home for the day. So we're super excited about it. And yeah, July 6th is going to be our opening day here.
That's great. Southern California, there's a lot of MMA fighters. Like, are you going to open the door to any of the guys that train down there in San Diego?
Absolutely, man. I would love that. I got to meet Patty the Batty last season. He came out to some Padre games, and
nice.
We went out a few times. He invited me out to his fight in Vegas, so I went out and stayed at his house for a day and watched him fight out there. But a lot of guys, Chito Vera, Dom Cruz. I trained with Dom for an off season, doing some water workouts. But yeah, really big fight scene here in San Diego, and I'm a huge fan of it. So any chance I have to interact with those guys and tap into some of that mentality, I'm all for it.
I was just going to ask you about Dominic Cruz, because Dom's a guy, he's one of the greatest of all time to ever do it at 135 pounds, but his personality seems to rub some people the wrong way. Personally, I love the way Dom talks about things. Like he spits the truth about a lot of things, but I was curious if you were pro or anti Dom Cruz in his character, if you will.
I'm pro Dom Cruz, man. I love Dom. I loved him as a fighter, and then getting to meet him a little bit and seeing his focus and his attention to detail in his training. It was inspiring for me. I feel like we have some similarities in that respect. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Dom, and like you said, he tells it how it is, and I respect that. I appreciate that.
100%. Well, we'll let you get going here, get back to your workout. Thanks for joining us again. It's nice checking in with you. I think it's the second time you've been on the show,
Yeah,
and wish you the best moving forward here in the season.
I appreciate it, man. I always enjoy talking with you. I'm a huge UFC fan, so I appreciate you tapping into my world a little bit and let me share a little bit, man.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you.
All right, take care.